Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Vancouver Rain Draft to Glory franchise mode here in MLB The Show 23. So in the last episode, we basically started up the season sim, and we also did some scouting. You can see we're 18 and 65, which is probably going to be one of our best seasons yet by the end of the year. But we did decide to start one of our prospects, in that being Ozzy Cardenas in the MLB this year, and so far he has been fantastic. As you can see, batting a 310 average through 300 at bats. He's also got 31 RBIs and 7 home runs already in this stage. Now, I did look after I recorded the last episode back at his first MLB game, which was against the Detroit Tigers. And if we go here to the box score, you can see that he actually picked up, if I'm not mistaken, he picked up a home run in his MLB debut. So shout out to Cardenas, and hopefully he has a Rookie of the Year candidate season. I think he probably will, because at the moment, if we go to, where was it that I saw this? Oh yeah, awards. Player of the month wise, you can see for Rookie of the Year in the month of April, he was the Rookie of the Month, batting a 400 through 80 at bats. And in this last month, he wasn't. It was Cole Roederer instead, but still, Ozzy Cardenas is looking like he's definitely going to be in the lead for Rookie of the Year this year, as long as he continues on the pace he's on. Because you can see here, this is currently like the award leaders. You can see that he's currently leading, just beating out Cole Roederer and Colt Keith, who I guess was somebody we could have drafted at one point, because he looks like he's a generated player. So maybe we could have drafted that guy at one point. But yeah, Cardenas should be able to win Rookie of the Year, but he does have to hold off Colt Roederer, who definitely looks like also a pretty solid rookie so far this season. So there is that. And anyways, before we get into our draft, I do have quite a few comments to go over, especially from Nick. So we'll go through the ones from Nick first, because he's got like 4 of them. So the first one from Nick says, would you be open to upping Cardenas' potential if he's a 300 hitter, as rookie who's a 74 overall should not be getting worse when hitting above 300 in his first year? LOL. Imagine IRL if some rookie was playing like Cardenas in his first season in real life. They would give him a potential, no doubt. Saying to up it is that much, but maybe to 80, since he is competing for a batting title in his first season. Also, some YouTubers do a stud and dud of the year for those years, where the most impressive and the least impressive player get either a positive or a negative reward due to their play. It would be fun to do that with this year's, considering the fact that in this first season, let me continue this, this first season are a throwaway, and it would make the stats more interesting. That would be maybe interesting to do that type of thing. I don't know about upping his potential, but like, yeah, that could be something we do, is like if a player has a bad season. So for example, Schneider in AA, if he keeps having bad seasons, maybe we demote him down to a C potential instead of a B potential, even though I don't really want to do that. And then I guess, like, yeah, Cardenas would be bumped up to probably like a B potential player. But I don't really know if I want to do that just yet. Like, I might want to do that as like a last resort type of thing. But you guys do say that guys like Cardenas would retire kind of faster. Like, he'll start to drop off a lot quicker because he's only got C potential. I really hope that can players jump up in potential, I think, on their own? I'm pretty sure they can. So I'm hoping that Cardenas could just randomly jump to a B potential player, because that would be nice. But if he doesn't jump to a B potential, maybe we should give him that if he bats over 300 this first season of his. The next comment from Nick says, Gary McAllister, I almost guarantee you he is pretty good, even though you did not scout him. If you're dead set on not picking him due to his age, I'd go with Hobson. Use our last scouting week on Gary to see if he is worth the pick if you can. So I went ahead and already did that. So Gary McAllister will be getting scouted out. He is probably going to be a pretty good player. The only problem is he's 23, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter too much, because that will just start making our team better, like, right off the gate. But obviously I do like going with the younger players first and foremost. So if we do end up going that with a younger player, would be Hobson for sure, considering we do need second baseman. Also, Nick says, would you be open to signing international free agents, since they would be technically rookies? They open the first week of free agency. I would potentially, like I was saying to you in comments, not yet, but maybe down the road if we get really stuck and we need more good players in, and like the drafts aren't cutting it enough, then maybe we could start signing some international free agents, since they technically would be rookies. and that type of thing. And then the last and final comment that I want to go over from Nick, because he has two more of them, but I'm going to go over just this last one. He says, Schneider has been pretty disappointing. My concerns on him have arisen. Cardenas has been my favorite player so far, to be honest. Despite his potential, the ratings he has are so well developed that he's become a star level player in his first year anyway. So yeah, I am really concerned also about Schneider, because so far he's had some really, like, his first season I believe was good if I remember right, but so far he's just, yeah, his numbers haven't been that great. So I might have to readjust the lineup in AA and maybe put him earlier in the lineup, and maybe that will help him out. Maybe he's too far back in the lineup or something, but we will probably rework that a little bit. Looks like he is, yeah, he's probably the starting third baseman down there. He shouldn't not be, just because he's a 68. He should be a starter. The next two comments are from We in the Fieldhouse. The first one says, if you can't find a catcher, Sixto has that as a secondary position, which is true. So if we do not find ourselves a catcher of the future, we do have Giancarlo Sixto, who could actually play that as a position, which is awesome. So he could either be our catcher of the future or an outfielder of the future. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what Sixto does when he gets here. And then he also says, check out the scouts next year. Efficiency being high helps to scout out more players. Also, if you hit Y on a player when you're in scouting, you can see what their potential stats are. Hope this helps. Love this series. Thank you for that, man. And yeah, I do know about pressing Y on the players. I just haven't really done that much after I've scouted players. But we will have to do that probably here in this episode. And yeah, we'll definitely take a look at trying to maybe maximize our scouts next season, just make sure they have good efficiency so we could scout as much players as possible. And then the last comment is from It's Dawn, who says, Schneider is fine, just make sure you have him playing every day. Cardenas for sure will be Rookie of the Year if he keeps playing that way, which is my thoughts exactly. And yeah, for Schneider, let's just double check here before we get to the draft if he's in the right spot. He's actually okay. For some reason, that's just against right-handed pitchers. Yeah, for some reason, Schneider's being utilized as a bench option over, like, this 41 overall player. So that's the major change that we need to make here. I didn't realize that. So I got to make sure I always address the lineups earlier on or something like that, because that is a major problem if it's not like that. Let's move Hoffman back a little bit, and same with O'Donnell. But yeah, that's a major problem if I don't address the lineup ahead of time. So we definitely need to make sure Schneider is a starter and not a bench player like he was being utilized as, because obviously our prospects take priority. These guys that we're just signing as fillers do not matter at all, so they don't need the playing time. But I will get Schneider in all these situations just because we need him to do as much as possible, because obviously I want him to start developing quite well, because at the moment I'm kind of concerned about him. So there you go, he's back in the lineup throughout all of AA, so that should be better. And yeah, let's get into this draft. I'm really excited for this draft. We do have a week still before the draft, so let's go all the way to this game against Houston, I guess. But yeah, I'm really excited for this draft. I'm also kind of nervous. We have the second overall pick this year. So we've definitely got to try and maximize our pick here. So hopefully we choose the right guy. At least we don't have the first overall pick this year, so like last year. Okay, let's add some prospects to this. So scouted out. So McAllister got 60% scouted, and he is actually that good, potentially. Yeah, I think I might actually have to take McAllister at 2. I was really thinking about the other guy, but what Nick was saying made sense. He's 23 years old. He's probably between a 70 and a 79. And then he also has 86 to 95 potential. I really hope it doesn't have an 86 potential, though. That would be a big whiff if that was the case. But if he has 95 potential and he's like a 79 out of the draft, that'd be insane. So I think I might have to take McAllister with our first pick. That is if he doesn't go before us, though, since we only have number 2 in the draft. So we'll add him to our draft queue. We'll add everybody that we scouted out to the draft queue and not in any specific order. But I think it will be a good draft for us. There is one guy I'm going to be looking at in a later spot, that being, I think it was Chu. Yeah, it's Chu. He's going to be a project first baseman, but I think adding him would be an okay draft pick for us as well. So There we go. Everybody added to that. And let's get into this draft. I am very nervous for this draft, but at least, like I said, we don't have first overall. So hopefully whoever's before us makes the wrong choice and we make the good choice. So let me just actually reorder this a little bit. So Gary McAllister is probably my first choice. And then like we were mentioning before, the other guy was... Who was it? Who was it? Oh, it's Hobson, right? Yeah. Hobson is our second option here. Is Hobson right now like... Yeah, he's going to be probably a little bit of a lower overall, my guess, in the 50s, maybe 60s. But in the future, he's probably a really good player. He also has a lot of interest, which that's the one thing that I would probably choose him over McAllister with, though. I don't like that we didn't fully scout him out. But, I mean, like, look at those future numbers. Those look really good. He might... Yeah, he's going to be probably a solid overall out of the draft. Just because those walks per 9 seem to be in a decent range. And yeah, that stamina is really good too, which means he could go really long into games. So yeah, I think Gary McAllister is probably my choice if Washington doesn't take him. But then if he is taken, we take Lewis Hobson. I don't know who we're going to take in other rounds, but like I said, for sure, I think Michael Chu is definitely somebody I'm looking at for probably a late round pick if he doesn't go earlier, because he isn't supposed to go to like 155, I think it said. So we might be able to snag him in like the 3rd or 4th round. But yeah, let's start up this draft. See what happens here. So who is Washington going to take at number 1? Hopefully it's not one of the two guys we're looking at. Let's see. I don't recognize this guy right now. Oh, it's Goldie. No idea who the heck that is. John Goldie. MLB had him ranked at number 2. We had him ranked at number 1. So that might be a really good pick there. It might not be. But yeah, this guy might be a really solid player. I should probably scout out older players too, but I tend to always go to the 18-year-olds for some reason. Oh, that sounds kind of bad, but yeah, I think we got to go with Gary here. Yeah, I think we got to go with Gary. Just because he's the better player right now. Obviously, it sucks that he's 23 already, but if he's like a really high overall, like we can't not take a chance on this guy. His bonus demand is going to be super high, though, which is the only problem. While Hobson's is much cheaper. And let's go with Gary. We'll go with Gary McAllister and take the chance on a pitcher. We do need more pitchers because we only have really like Garth Howe. So might as well take him. And yeah, hopefully this guy is good. And hopefully we made the right choice in not choosing Hobson. Hobson's going to be probably a good player. But I really hope that he somehow falls to the 2nd round, but I don't think that's going to happen. So there's Gary. Hopefully he is as good as we are expecting. Who's going to go at 3? Because I don't really know who will go at 3. Is it going to be Hobson that goes at 3? No, it's somebody else. I guess it's a white guy. Dukes. What a last name. Logan Dukes. Projected 35th by the MLB, and we had him ranked at 26. He might end up being a good player because he has a solid range, but he could also be a project player. But he also might have a really low potential. So, yeah, I don't know about that one for the Rockies. We'll have to find that out at the end of this episode. But there is the first 3 players of this draft. Let's sim through this first round, I guess. Yeah, and then we'll take a look. Oh, a lot of those guys already went, of course. So the other guys we were looking at... I don't remember who was the other guys I was looking at, but David Diaz goes 8 to Detroit. I remember him. Napoleon Conrad goes to the White Sox. Hobson went to the Blue Jays. Hopefully I didn't give the Blue Jays a gift there. I should probably go through this kind of quickly. Rod Hammond already went to the Cubs. I guess we might have to just go with Chu already, to be honest, just because we know he has good potential. This closer might be really good too, though, but we don't really need to draft more closers. But in the future, this guy might be good. I could probably take Chu with a later pick even, so... Yeah, let's take Guzman right now. Is he 23, though? No, he's 18. We'll take Guzman already, and then hopefully Chu's available next round, because Chu wasn't supposed to get drafted, really, so... I'll take Guzman early just because we have the opportunity to. And yep, Chu is still on the board, so we will take Chu here since we had him scouted out. He's going to be a good project player, but hopefully he develops into being a solid one there. So there's Chu. And then we have to just take players off the board now at this stage already, which always sucks. So we got to take a look and see if we find any 18-year-olds with maybe 99 potential. There is this Ernesto Minoso guy who could have a good range. Let's take Minoso. Why not? Not that we need necessarily all these shortstops and stuff, but might as well take a chance. Like, at this stage, we just have to pretty much guess. So, hopefully we can find some random good steals here. Another starting pitcher that might have 99 potential. Ramon Cosmo. Why not? We'll take Ramon Cosmo, get ourselves another pitcher prospect. Hopefully a lot of these guys sign with us because I don't want to lose players every year that we draft players. Let's see. Any other 99 potentials? Center fielder Josh Groves. Sure. I honestly don't really care what we're going after here in the late round. Maybe we should actually look for a catcher here. See if there's any catchers still available. Because if there's a catcher available, maybe I'll just take him. Ooh. Oh, he's injured. He'd be a low overall for a 23-year-old as well, but he might have a high ceiling, but he probably won't reach that. That's the only problem. I might take a chance on this 19-year-old. Actually, wait, maybe this 18-year-old. Yeah, I'll take a chance on this 18-year-old because if he has the 86 potential and he's like a low overall, that might be still an okay for a future catcher. So, Sammy Michaels, welcome aboard. Hopefully, you're decent. And then we have no more picks in this draft. So, there is our draft. Kind of went through that actually a little bit quicker than I thought it would, but let's advance a few days so we could sign some of these prospects in. Do we have any All-Stars this year, though? I'm actually curious on that front. Let's hit through this. I don't think we have anybody in the home run derby this year. Like, I don't think Cardenas made it, right? No, he did not. But did he make the All-Star game in his rookie season? Probably he would be our representative if he was in the All-Star game. So let's take a look at this just because this is actually now in the territory where it might actually matter. So let's actually go to the play game so we could see the actual rosters. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see who got into the All-Star game. Did Cardenas get into the All-Star game? So rotation wise, I don't think we have any pitchers here. I don't know anybody on our pitching core anyways. Let's see. Did he get into the All-Star game? Yes, he did. Let's go, Cardenas. He's going to be a bench player, but still, Ozzy Cardenas is an MLB All-Star in his first season. Let's go. That's awesome to see. So we do have one All-Star this year. I am actually impressed with Cardenas quite a bit. I didn't know he was going to be that good of a player, even as a C potential, but it is good to see him get into the All-Star game. Let's simulate through that. Okay, so we should be able to start giving contracts out shortly to our players from the draft. Not yet, apparently. How many days? Let's go to here. Okay, now we should be able to sign our prospects. Okay, so obviously Gary McAllister is our #1 priority here. We're going to already try and offer some of these guys contracts right out of the gate this time around, not wait a few days. We do have to get some of these guys up there a lot more in interest. I don't like that Guzman's interest is only at 30%. So that's a bit iffy that some of our prospects that we drafted don't have highest interests. Michael Chu already has good interest. I'm going to add him as well to this. But let's already offer some contracts to the guys that we can. Let's see. If I go to just under $8 million, I'll have $6 million left. Let's try it, Gary. Declined on that. Okay. I'll try offering you again when I have the chance to. Let's see if we can. Yeah, I can't get the rest of these guys yet. I'm actually just going to remove Gary from this for now, because I think I should be able to get him. I am going to get some of these other guys a little bit higher up first, though. Hopefully I could get most of these prospects that we drafted in, because I don't like having to miss out on players we draft. One more day, I guess. Let's see. Okay, let's remove Cosmo for a second. See if we could get Gary in. Would you accept 8.34? Declined. Come on, Gary. Oh my goodness. His interest is dropping because of those offers. I might have to just give him the max, to be honest. Let's keep him on there for now. Because I'm not losing out on our second overall pick. Because if I do, I might have to redo this entire video. Because I honestly don't want to have that happen. Because that would just be like a slap in the face, pretty much. Okay, let's try and get him again. Come on, Gary. We'll give you... yeah, that. There you go. Now we got Gary. Okay, that's good. At least we got our top pick. That is good. I'm really excited for Chu, though. Chu should be a pretty solid player. And he's going to be really cheap, too. Let's try and already... Yeah, I can't already try and get him. Let's add Cosmo again to this. Get these guys' interest a little bit higher. Let's go another 3 days. I really hope we had a good draft. Hopefully we made the right call with who we drafted. We didn't even have Gary fully scouted out yet, but it's looking good. He's between a 70 and a 78 overall. But is his potential that high? I forgot we didn't even have him fully scouted out before we even offered him that contract. Maybe we should have fully scouted him out first, but obviously being the second overall pick, I'm going to sign the guy regardless. So, can't offer any of these guys contracts yet, so we got to wait a little bit. Actually, maybe I'll move Chu to number 1 priority. Because Chu, I do want to sign him. I know he's going to be a good player. Not sure on the others yet, but let's auto-utilize that. Let's see what we got here. We got 9 days till the signing day. Okay, now we could already offer Chu a contract. Let's see if he accepts. Let's give him that. Hey, look at that. Michael Chu already accepts. I like that, Chu. Thank you. So we got Chu already. We just have all these other guys. Let's get Michael scouted out a little bit more. Why not? But I don't know if I'm going to be able to sign a lot of those guys we drafted later round since we didn't have them really scouted at all. Okay, so we got a couple more days to scout these guys out. Ramon Castro is looking Cosmo is looking pretty good. Let's move him to number 1 priority. And Guzman is also looking pretty solid, but I can't offer him a contract yet, which sucks. I really hope we get all these guys, because it'll kind of suck if we don't, but hopefully we get most of them. Like, if there's one player that we don't get, or 2 players we don't get, it's not the end of the world, but yeah, Cosmo might be good. He might be good. We can't offer him already a contract. Let's see what he will accept. No, he won't. Not yet. Okay, we'll have to try again at the last week of this. And yeah, I guess the rest of the players will have to wait for the last day for. Oh boy, I'm kind of nervous because I don't like it when they reject. No, I don't care about the trade deadline. Skip this. Boom. Okay, the last day to sign players from the draft. Okay, Cosmo. Let's talk you to 56% interest. Oh my goodness, Ramon. You douche. Okay, well, we don't get Ramon. That just kind of sucks because he was maybe looking good. Okay. Let's get Luis Guzman. He's the most important of the bunch. Oh, 48%. I should have probably got his interest higher. Come on, Guzman, please. Yes, let's go. We got Guzman, okay. At least we got our bigger players. Next one I guess I'll go after is Minoso. How much money do I have? Not enough to get all these guys, I don't think. Maybe actually I do have just barely enough. But they all have like 30% interest. Groves actually has the highest interest of the bunch. So he should be relatively easy to get. But he's also got one of the higher demanding prices. Now let's try and get Groves. Please? Hey, Josh Groves accepts. Nice. Okay. And then these last two, we have 1.17. Yeah, I might not be able to get both of these guys. Let's prioritize Michael so we can maybe get ourselves a catcher into our lineup. So let's see if he'll accept. We could actually offer him probably the max. Ah, he rejects. Damn it, Sammy. We needed a catcher, and you were maybe that guy. And then we'll give Minoso as much as possible, but I don't think he's going to accept. Yeah, he declines too. So unfortunately, we lose out on a couple prospects again in this year's draft. So we definitely need to do a little bit better of a job in terms of the interest meter. But now we get to see how good these players that we drafted are. And hopefully they're all pretty good, because or else this is not going to look good. Okay, so we got not all those prospects, but let's advance a few days. See if we made the right call with Gary McAllister. We probably did, but just to play it safe. Oh boy. Here is the time. Let me get rid of these notifications because they are in the way. After I check the draft class results and stuff like that, we will also take a look at Cardenas' stats again, and then I will probably end the episode at that point. But here we go. Did we make the right call with Gary McAllister? Please. Oh, maybe not. No, I don't think we did. 73 overall at 23 is good. Or it's okay. But B potential, not A potential. I wanted A potential for him. I think we made maybe the wrong call, but he's still going to be a really good player and usable for us for pitching wise for sure. Like B potential as a pitcher is actually okay, right? But, I would have preferred A potential, but at number 2, was he the right choice? Maybe. I guess we'll have to take a look at the rest of the draft, but damn, that kind of sucks. But that stamina was really good, so he might be the type of pitcher that could go like almost 9 innings a game. His hits per 9 and his Ks and 9 definitely work. And his pitching, clutch, and control also does. But he's got good velocity, good break. He's got a 90-mile-an-hour two-seamer, a circle change, it's 84, slider 85, and a sweeping curve that's 80. So at least he's got like 4 pitches too. So there's Gary. I don't know if that's a home run of a pick or not, but there is Gary. Luis Guzman, not bad. Not bad. He's a 62 B potential closer. Once again, we have already 2 closers, so now we're up to 3 closers in our prospect pool. So I don't think we really need to draft much more of them, but he is pretty solid. He's got good velocity. His hits per 9 is pretty good. His Ks and 9 isn't really, but once again, he's a closer more. But we might be able to use him more as like a setup type of guy. He's got a heater of a 4-seamer, though, 98 miles an hour. And then his curveball is 83 and his slider is 89. Huh. So there is Guzman. And then we got Michael Chu, who, yep, as we expected, A potential, but he's a 43 overall. So he is a major project player. But he's going to be probably pretty good at some stage. He might make the MLB when he's like 27 or something like that, but at least we have another A potential to add to our prospect pool. And then Josh Grove is not bad. B potential, 51 overall at 18 for a center fielder that we had no idea about. Sucks that we didn't get the catcher, but at least we got the center fielder. And yeah, he's going to be decent, it looks like. How good is his speed and stuff? Pretty solid. His outfielding stats, not the best, but it is what it is. And then that's our draft. That's a pretty good draft. Actually, 89 potential for McAllister, so he's just barely outside of the A potential range. So that makes me feel a little bit better, because if it was B potential and only like 80 overall, I would have been really concerned. But he's got 89 potential, so yeah, that's a good pick. Guzman, 85 potential. And then Chu's got 94 potential. Groves has 89 potential as well. So yeah, pretty solid draft for us. Sucks that we didn't get all of our prospects again, but once again, future years, we need to definitely try and get interest as high as possible on a lot of players. So that's going to be something we try and prioritize next few years, I think, at least. Let's take a look at the rest of these teams, see who did what. See if anybody got any huge steals. Some project players there for Seattle, but no really big name player. Is this guy hit? This guy's pretty solid. Good potential right fielder. Rene Pena for Texas. Tom Martinez, pretty solid. He's 19 only, so yeah, that's really good. Okay, looking for any good steals. This guy's pretty solid. 68 at 18. Nelson Mota. Looks like a pretty solid draft for the Marlins, actually, in terms of getting some good prospects. So there you go. What else we got here? Michael Ono, 52 at 21 is not that good, so that's a bit of a whiff. At least he has good potential. Pete Ishii, solid, I guess. Billy Berry, what a name. Didn't even see that guy in the draft. Jonathan Goldie, who went first overall before our pick, was a 67 at 21 and 85 potential. So I think we made the right pick, obviously, and Washington kind of whiffed on the top pick. So there is that. They also got Antoine Green, who's decent, and Marcellus Feliz, who's pretty solid as well for a potential guy. Jack Clemens, 55 at 22. Oof, not great. I did look at Paul Jackson actually at one point. I think he was one of the guys I was scouting out. Not very great. Dennis McGrath, also not very great. He has a 67 overall, but he only has 74 potential. What else we got here? Odom. Odom is a beast. Damn, I wish I would have got Greg Odom in a sense. 70 overall at 18, and he's got 93 potential. Yeah, that would have been a really good pick. Yeah, that's a nice one for the Brewers there. Sucks that we didn't scout that guy out at all, I don't think. Anthony Roberts, 86 overall, our potential, 69 overall. Pretty good. Another solid starting pitcher prospect. Seems like a pretty good draft for pitchers. Solid prospect there for the last pick, Marco Garcia. Anybody else interesting here? Really good pick there. That's a really big steal there for the Cardinals. Octavio Lewis, 68 at 18, 88 potential. Yeah, that's a really good one there. Juan Escobar, pretty solid, so another good starting pitcher. I think I might have scouted out that guy too, but I can't remember. Alberto Marquez, also pretty solid. 69 at 21 is actually not terrible. So that's actually a pretty good one for a closer. So there's that. Logan Dukes, who went right after our choice, was really good. But he's only got B potential as well. But 70 overall at 18, 89 potential. So Colorado actually made a pretty good choice. We didn't scout this guy at all, though. So there you go at number 3. This guy's actually pretty solid. 71 at 19 as a relief pitcher. It's not bad. Billy Wild's pretty solid. Yeah, it looks like the Rockies actually had a pretty good draft. Riddick has good potential. Same with Roland. Or Rowland, one of the two. Arellano? I don't know how to pronounce that. Solid 74 at 22 for this guy. Peter Rodriguez. Darren Clifton is pretty solid as well. Another good pitcher prospect. Yeah, it looks like a pretty good draft for pitchers in general. Johnny Quinn. Nah, not too bad either. Solid. Guzman's pretty good as a relief pitcher prospect. What else we got here? Nothing really there for the Orioles. Solid, but not that great. Red Sox. Any solid steals here? Okay, there's a good project player. Mackenzie Little, 59 at 18, 94 potential. What else we got here? James Harrison. I think I did scout this guy out. He's not that great. I'm curious on Lewis Hobson, though, once we get to Toronto, which is next, I think. This guy is not that great because he's already 22. Same with this guy. And Lewis Hobson was solid, but I don't know if I'd say he was a hugely great player. 61 and 18 is not bad. 86 potential is also not bad. So he's got good contact. This would have been our pick at number 2 if I didn't choose McAllister. Probably. I mean, this guy at least would have given us a chance at second base because we don't really have any second base prospects. And oh my goodness, no way. Toronto drafts Louis. Or Louise, one of the two, but still, man, that is hilarious. Shout out to Toronto for the meme draft. Dino De La Cruz, what a name. Napoleon Conrad, I was looking at this guy as well at one point. He's pretty solid. Not the highest ceiling, but still. Looks like a solid draft for the White Sox. Rod Hammond, not that great. Good we didn't take him early. Robbie Torrero. Did I scout this guy? I don't remember. Some of these names I don't know if I scouted for sure or not. David Diaz wasn't that good yet as I thought. He was like the 8th overall pick, I think. So that's a bit of a woof for the Tigers. I think that's almost it for this draft. Wow, okay, wait a second. Good pick, I'd say, or solid pick. Good pick as well. Good pick. And solid pick. So it looks like the Royals had a pretty good draft as well. Yeah, this was actually an okay draft. It was definitely a lot better than last year's draft because last year's draft, a lot of teams had big woofs. Damn, Leandro Ramos. Jeez, I can't talk right now. I almost said Romanov for some reason, but Ramos. He's a 75, but 75 potential. Yeah, this guy's pretty solid. He's kind of almost like Cardenas. That would have been a nice pickup for the second baseman. Sanchez, solid. So there is all of this. We should be almost back at us. Yep, there we go. So I think we had a solid draft, one of the better drafts out of some of these teams, but at the same time, we didn't even sign all of our prospects, which sucks. So there is that. And final thing to end this episode, we want to take an updated look at Cardenas' stats. We want to see actually also if he was the Rookie of the Month for June, and because we didn't actually take a look at the awards for June yet, because we only saw May and April, I'm pretty sure. So let's see what we got here. Let's go to awards. Player of the Month. He was not the Rookie of the Month in July or June. Actually, July might be only just to start off with so far. I don't know. But yeah, he wasn't in June. June was Emmanuel Valdez, who looks like he's back in AAA. And then Ryan Benjamin. Is he already still leading for Rookie of the Month, Rookie of the Year? I want to keep a look on that as well. Keep tabs on that. Hopefully he is still number 1 for Rookie of the Year. He is still number 1. Okay, and he's up to 10 home runs and 43 RBIs. Batting a .316. Still got an .835 OPS. Yeah, still looking really good in his rookie season is Cardenas. So that is great to see. A .316 average. Yeah, his average has actually gone up in this episode, because wasn't he only at like a .310 before? And he was only at 7 home runs. So I think in this episode alone, he got like 3 home runs and like 13 RBIs. So pretty good. Pretty damn good. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Vancouver Rain Draft to Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we will simulate the rest of the season. We'll get through the off season. We'll see if Cardenas ends up winning the Rookie of the Year and all that type of thing. And yeah, it should be a fun rest of the year. So anyways, think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.